The Buddha imparts a profound lesson that true health isn't a matter of external conditions or wealth, but something found deep within the body and soul. The key to living a life that's truly worthwhile is found in embracing the present moment, right here, right now. Yet, many of us find this impossible, endlessly bound by past regrets or paralyzed by fears of an uncertain future. Buddha's wisdom urges us to focus our attention on the moment at hand, as it's the only time in which we can truly experience life in its fullest form. The past is but a memory, a shadow of what once was. The future? A realm of mystery, where anything could happen but nothing is certain. What we possess, truly, is only the present. The challenge, however, isn't simply knowing this. It's learning how to live in the now. We're often so tangled in the cobwebs of past mistakes or buried in the weight of future worries that we forget how to be alive in the present. According to Buddha, the secret to living a fulfilling life lies in an unwavering awareness of and appreciation for the present moment. When you understand this, the chains of past pain and future anxiety break free. If you long for peace, if you desire joy, then listen closely to the story that follows, a story that exemplifies the very essence of living fully in the now. It begins with a man named Rohan. He sits alone, high atop a mountain, surrounded by nothing but the endless sky and the weight of his sorrow. Despair has consumed him, and he cries out in frustration, a heart broken by life's relentless trials. He feels as though he's reached the very end, a breaking point from which there is no return. It's in this moment that a Buddhist monk, passing by, takes notice of Rohan's pain. With a soft, caring voice, the monk asks, "Why do you suffer so, my friend?" Without lifting his gaze, Rohan responds, his voice laced with bitterness, "I am considering ending it all. And if you think that's something that matters to you, you're wrong. This is my life, and I will do as I wish with it. Why should it concern you?" The monk, calm and steady, replies, "If you've already decided to end your life, then why do you sit here crying? If your decision is made, there's no reason to carry such sorrow." Rohan's anger flares, and he snaps back, "You don't know the pain I feel. You have no right to interfere with my life." His tears begin to flow again, uncontrollably, as his inner torment rages within him. The monk, undeterred by Rohan's outburst, quietly sits beside him and gently asks, "If you truly have nothing left to hold on to, if you have truly abandoned everything, even your thoughts, then why are you still here, carrying this weight?" Rohan, his voice tinged with despair, answers, "I have nothing. I've lost everything. What is left for me?" The monk's voice is steady and wise as he responds, "If that is true, then why do you still carry the burden of your breath? The weight of your sorrow? The heaviness of your thoughts?" Rohan, perplexed, asks, "What burden are you talking about? My hands are empty. I have nothing left to lose. I'm carrying nothing." The monk, with a calm and penetrating gaze, says, "Even now, you carry something far heavier than anything you can see. Your breath is shallow. Your heart races. A person who has truly given up on life doesn't sit here weeping. You're still holding on to something. Can you see it?" Startled by the monk's words, Rohan begins to reflect deeply. The monk's next words pierce the silence. "Have you ever stopped to look within? To examine the invisible burdens you carry, the ones that weigh you down, even when you think you have nothing left. A shift begins to occur within Rohan. Slowly, his anger subsides as the realization dawns on him. The true weight he's been carrying isn't external. It lies deep within, his unresolved emotions, his fears, his regrets. The monk, seeing this transformation, gently presses, "Why do you continue to carry these invisible burdens? Why do you let them control your life?" Rohan, his voice now filled with a quiet sadness, responds, "I have never been able to live without feeling like I am failing. Every time I try, and it all falls apart," Rohan says, his voice breaking. "My business failed. My family, they turned their backs on me. I tried so hard to support them, to give them everything I could, but in the end, I failed them." His words come out in a rush, each one carrying the weight of his defeat. The monk, ever calm, smiles gently and speaks, "Rohan, the root of your suffering isn't found in the things you've lost or the failures you've faced. No, my friend, the true source of your pain lies within. It's the attachment you have to the past and the fear you carry about the future that create this endless cycle of anguish. You've held on to these feelings for so long that they've become a part of you." Rohan's heart sinks. "But what can I do?" he asks, his voice thick with desperation. "How do I break free from this never-ending pain?" The monk's eyes, steady and kind, meet Rohan's. "The answer, Rohan, is already within you. You must stop seeking validation from the world around you. No external approval will ever give you the peace you're searching for. Let go of your attachment to your family's approval, to your friend's success, and the idea that you must succeed to prove your worth to others." Rohan frowns, struggling to understand. "But what about my family? I did everything for them. I wanted to give them comfort, security. Isn't it wrong to want to make them happy?" The monk smiles warmly, his voice soft but firm. "Rohan, the true lesson is this. When you do things for others, thinking it will bring you happiness, you're not truly helping them. You're helping yourself. You expect something in return: validation, praise, recognition. The moment you realize that everything you do for yourself, you will understand that true peace comes from within." Rohan's brow furrows as he takes in the monk's words, unsure of how to proceed. "I've tried everything, monk. But what can I do when it feels like all hope is lost?" With a knowing look, the monk reaches into his robe and pulls out a small, simple box. "Take this," he says, offering it to Rohan. "This box holds a secret that can help you when you feel like you're at your lowest. Keep it with you and open it only when you truly believe there's no hope left. When you feel the world is closing in around you, this box will remind you of the strength you have within." Rohan takes the box, feeling a small spark of hope flicker inside him. With newfound determination, he thanks the monk and begins to walk a new path, not one focused on the past or future, but solely on the present. Over time, he rebuilds his life, starting a new business. This time, success is his. His family, too, returns to him, and he experiences the comforts he once sought, but with a perspective that has shifted. He no longer worries about past mistakes or the uncertainties of the future. He's content with what he has right now. But life, as always, has its way of testing us. War breaks out in the state where Rohan lives, and once again, his business is destroyed. His family is forced to flee, and they face hardship and suffering. Rohan, now penniless and overwhelmed with despair, questions the very purpose of his life. Everything feels as though it's slipping through his fingers, and hope seems a distant memory. But then he remembers the box, the one the monk gave him. With trembling hands, he opens it and finds a small note inside. It reads, "Your life can change in an instant. Whether you are rich or poor, with courage, you can achieve anything. Do not despair. The strength to overcome adversity lies within you." As he reads the words, something shifts inside Rohan. A sense of peace begins to replace the heaviness in his chest. The note fills him with renewed hope. He rises from his despair, understanding now that his true strength doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from his ability to face the present moment, no matter what it brings. Life will always have its ups and downs, but with resilience, self-awareness, and an unwavering belief in the power of the present, Rohan finds the strength to move forward once more. With a heart full of hope and a mind cleared of unnecessary worries, Rohan decides to face whatever comes next with courage. No longer will he let the shadows of the past or the uncertainties of the future dominate his thoughts. He will live fully in the now. Rohan's new approach is simple: live fully in the present. As time passes, he grows stronger. He starts small again, carefully planning his next business venture. But this time, his focus isn't solely on the outcome. Instead, he values the process, every step, every lesson, every bit of personal growth along the way. Whether success or failure, he embraces each moment with awareness and acceptance. Despite his cautious optimism, life doesn't always unfold as planned. Obstacles and setbacks appear as challenges with employees and market conditions that don't align with his plans. But Rohan no longer reacts with despair. He's learned that setbacks are not the end. They're simply part of the journey. Each difficulty presents an opportunity for growth, and he faces them all with a calm mind and heart. One of the most important lessons Rohan learns is that his happiness doesn't depend on his business success or the opinions of others. His joy now comes from within. By focusing on what he can control in the present, he navigates through any storm. Success, when it comes, is not measured by wealth, but by the peace and contentment he carries with him every day. As his business grows, Rohan becomes a role model in his community. People begin to notice the change in him. They see how he faces challenges with strength, handles setbacks with grace, and encourages others to live in the moment as well. His family, who once distanced themselves during his struggles, now returns, not because of his success, but because they see the man he's become. They appreciate him for who he is, not for what he has. Rohan has learned to be content with the present, grateful for each moment. Yet life, as always, is unpredictable. One day, when things seem to be going well, disaster strikes. His state is invaded, and his world is once again turned upside down. His business is destroyed, his home is gone, and his family is scattered. Rohan faces the harsh realities of life once more. Amid chaos and despair, he feels the weight of the world on his shoulders. Everything is lost. But then, he remembers the box the monk gave him. The note inside reads, "Your life can change at any moment. Whether rich or poor, With courage, you can accomplish anything. The note brings him back to the lessons he learned from the monk. It reminds him that overcoming any challenge lies within him, not in external circumstances. His success and failure are both temporary, but his ability to endure and find hope in dark times is something no one can take away. The true source of his strength lies in his mind and his ability to stay present. With renewed courage, Rohan decides to rebuild, not just his business, but his life. He doesn't know what the future holds, and he doesn't worry about it. His focus is on the steps he must take now. Little by little, he moves forward, knowing that as long as he stays purposeful and aware, he will find his way through. Rohan learns the most important lesson of all. Life isn't about reaching a specific goal or destination. It's about how we live each moment. The present moment is all we truly have, and it's in that moment that we find peace, joy, and fulfillment. Rohan's story isn't about extraordinary success or fame, it's about perseverance. It's the story of a man who learned to let go of his attachments to the past and future, embracing the present fully. In doing so, he found the true meaning of happiness, not in achievements, but in how he lived. As we come to the end of Rohan's journey, we see that we, too, can learn from his life. The world will always present challenges, losses, and unexpected turns, but it's how we respond to them that defines our lives. If we can learn to live in the present, without regret for the past or anxiety for the future, we can find peace amidst life's chaos. The wisdom the monk shared helped Rohan understand that happiness isn't found in external achievements, it's in the inner peace that comes from living fully in the moment. Through this realization, Rohan faces whatever comes next, knowing that no matter what happens, he will always have the power to choose how he responds. So, too, can we learn from Rohan's story? We are all capable of changing our lives, no matter how difficult our circumstances. We just need to remember to stay present, to stay true to ourselves, and to embrace each moment with courage, hope, and gratitude. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May you carry the wisdom of this story with you and find peace and happiness in the present moment.